Good morning. It's so great to be here. So Rose and I actually had to choose. Our Chairman's Council in the U.S. is in South Africa, going on safaris, and we're here to witness snowfalls here in beautiful Vancouver. So this conference, haven't missed one, so there's no way. It was kind of an easy choice for us. We have other people on that trip, but it's just so great to be here. I'm so proud to see the progress and the growth here of the Canadian firm. And to see, Paul Allison's great leadership and, what the team has done over these years, watch the great transition to Jamie, who I'm confident that he and his team will continue to make all the progress that we've had. Now, it'll be a little harder. You can't think of Paul and Rose and Paul and Rose. You'll have to remember some other names going forward, but it's really great. And I always thought Vancouver was a long way from St. Pete's and it was hard to get to. But after strikes and COVIDs, I guess the third time is a charm. It's great to be here. The sun, when I got up, the sun was out and I thought maybe it was a dream or something, but it is really great. Now, these last few years it's been a time of reflection for all of us. It's been a tough time. We entered into something we had no certainty. We didn't know what was really going on, and it impacted all of our lives, and some of it in very positive ways. I mean, for Rose and I to have our grown children actually home and spending time and having dinners with us, we didn't think that would happen again. And yet, so many people were isolated from their family and their friends. And, it was really a really trying time, and I think it made all of us examine what's really important. What do we need to do in our lives? And to see how we adapted, and the adaptation was great. Now, part of our ability to move so quickly was that we were going mobile pre-pandemic. So we had Zoom up and running, we had a lot of our mobile apps, because over time, we wanted to be more flexible and be in the workforce of the future. But it was great to see socially how we all adapted. And if it wasn't for Zoom and those connections, or I can even remember seeing people, I never thought I'd be outside in the freezing winters in Toronto around a fire pit just to see people. And we all yearn for those connections. So I think coming back is important. And how we come back is still uncertain. We're going to learn about flexible working and how we evolve and how do we work with each other in a more flexible environment. But I'm sure it's the right thing. And this conference is a great start to say, life will probably get back to normal, the new normal. And maybe we can see it that we finally have 3 Canadian hockey teams in the playoffs. And great series, right? They're all 1-1. So playoff hockey should be 6 or 7 games. You always want your team to win right away. Now, I got a lot of ribbing from my colleagues and friends in Toronto when we got beat isn't a fair word, slaughtered in the first game. So I had to remind them that Jeff Bezos last year spent an hour in space as the former CEO of Amazon, and he spent more time in space than Toronto has spent in the second round in 15 years. Now, I have to confess, I'm a Lightning fan first. I'm a Toronto fan second, so the other half of you will hate me now. My wife is a Toronto fan first, any other Canadian team second, and then Lightning third. So but it's fun. It's a great time of year. The one thing that has anchored us and hasn't changed through this whole thing is the founding principles of who we are. Our visions to be, financial services as unique as the people we serve. Our associates, not just clients, our associates, our advisors, and everyone that touches Raymond James. And I'm so proud of how the firm has continued that in their communities and with each other, even through these really trying times. The values have grounded us. We put clients first, and advisors are also our clients. We act as integrity. If we mess things up, we admit it, right? We're honest, and it develops that sense of trust and partnership. We think long term. I don't care what next quarter's earnings are. It's more fun when they're good. But I care about, are we growing and are we better positioned for 5 years from now? And we value our independence. You value your independence. And we're the only firm that says you own your clients. And if you want to move, go ahead. I have no contracts. We're all here because we want to be here. And that really does differentiate us from other firms. And it made the decisions in COVID very easy. When we first found out, the virus, none of us knew what was going on. We were spraying our Amazon boxes with Clorox, right? We didn't know what was going on. Firms debated whether to send people home, and we said, the safety of associates is number one. Everyone just go home. We'll figure it out. And those guiding principles, even on our return, is to be flexible, to be cognizant of the fear of coming back, and the flexibility of work has always guided what we do. And with those founding principles, we've thrived, and I think we'll always continue to thrive if we remember this is what makes Raymond James different. It's the culture. It's these founding principles, and it's our caring about each other. The result, 137 consecutive quarters of profitability, including 2009, profitable in every quarter. Our worst year, we had an 8% return on equity. In fact, we would have been profitable over 360 quarters if not on Black Monday, Tom James refused to close the retail trading desk on Black Monday because he didn't want investors to be stuck in their positions. And we lost a whopping $100,000 that quarter. So the principle of conservative has served well for all of us. Look at the first 6 months of this year. Again, record performance, up 19% in revenue, 17% on net income. Great earnings through a time when you'd say, how do you earn money? And this is with zero help from interest rates, which has always been part of our profitability. Our balance sheet remains bulletproof. We are so strong and we are so liquid. In fact, regulatorily, we actually need 8% capital. We have 25% Tier 1 capital. We say over $1 billion. Well, last night was $2.16 billion. Not that I count, I look every night at cash. My other firms, I used to look at it because I was worried about cash. Here, I kind of do it for fun. And that is not just recognized by us. This year, Fitch moved us to an A- rating. Moody's moved us to an A3 rating, an A rating. And Standard & Poor's has us on a positive outlook, which I think will mean they will move us up to an A rating, which is unheard of for a firm our size. And it's really a testament to this long-term conservatism and earning. And you should feel good about that. Your clients should feel good about that. In uncertain times, as we wake up every morning and go, what, the market's doing this again, right? Are we coming into a recession, a slowdown, uncertainty with the war in Ukraine, what's happening in China and the supply chain? We know that we're well structured to weather through it by being lowly leveraged and having capital, just like in 2009, to weather through it and continue to grow. And growth is important because if you grow and you grow profitably, you can invest. Our investment in technology has gone in 10 years from $100 million to $500 million a year. You have to have profits to be able to do that. And if you invest it well and you're smart, you get better service improvements, expansions. It makes you more capable to grow, and you continue growing. And if you don't grow, the opposite is true. You have to cut back. So growth is important. And I want to make sure you understand that from our standpoint, growth is this. It's, are we retaining advisors that are with us? Have you chosen to stay? That means it's a good platform. That enables us to recruit and grow, number one. So our growth is measured on, really, advisor count. People in the industry have accused us of growing too rapidly. We're growing 3% a year in advisor count. If that's rapid, what's fast, medium, slow? We are growing at a steady pace where we can keep the culture and make sure we add people that share our values, that share our commitments to clients, and share the things that we hold sacred, really, here at Raymond James. Now, when we have the opportunity, we do look at, ask people to join the family. And even starting back from the beginning of the firm, it was great to see Ken and Rusty here yesterday, for the foundings, but we've continued to add to the family. And the latest one, is 3 Max, and Tim, it's been great to catch up with Tim here. I get to see him at a lot of the Canadian board meetings. But that firm is, shared our values, shared our focus on clients, shared our growth. And the amazing thing is we always bragged about our retention when firms joined us. We virtually, outside of some side businesses, have 100% retention of the advisors there. We've had a few that retired or passed away, but people have been choosing to stay. In fact, in Canada, we had 0 people leaving for competitors last year, which is just amazing. We brag less than 1% in the US. Canada's really had a great run. They've been a great addition. Paul Aberley's here from Charles Stanley. I met Paul 7 years ago, and the deal didn't work out, but I told him we were patient and we would hang around. I remember 5 years later, he said, "You're not kidding," because we kept coming back. They fit us so perfectly. The values are so much the same. We will not do something unless it fits the culture and helps the business, which Paul, combined with Peter and the teams, will put us near the top 10 in the UK. Our investment in technology is evident, both in the US, Canada. Here, as we roll out FactSec, DocuSign, looking at the client app, we'll continue to invest in tools that help you in your business and communicate with clients. Our cyber threat center, next time you're down in St. Pete's, is just really amazing. Our regulators tell us we're top decile. Now, people say, why don't you put out brochures and brag? That's the last thing you want to do to cyber people, is to say, we're impenetrable. We'll show you, right? But it's the one area where I've never said no to 1 penny on a budget request. When I joined the firm, when I became CEO, we had 4 people in the cyber center. Today we have 150 people, about 40 different pieces of software, all integrated to protect our systems globally. One of the hallmarks of why you stay and what the focus is that we treat you as clients. So service is tantamount. Our focus is how do we make the administrative parts of your job easier. The best time you can spend is with your clients or new clients, is helping them, spending time with them, understanding them and their families and planning, not on filling out forms. Now we know the regulatory environment in the last 10 years, both whether it's FINRA in the US, IROC up here, we have a lot more to do. But we do focus on saying if we have to comply, how do we make it easier on you? Because the best growth in the firm isn't recruiting. It isn't in acquisitions. It's that when you're growing your business, because you're happy, means your clients are happy, and it's the most profitable for us. So our focus is always, how do we improve service? How do we make life easier for you? Now, also, it's great that we get the client accolades. So the J.D. Powers Award was fantastic. I did notice, Jamie, one thing, though. The award said Raymond James. It didn't say limited, so I'm going to take it back to St. Pete and put it in the lobby. So we put a little disclaimer on there, like a commercials. Raymond James, J.D. Powers #1 in Canada. We've continued to also be responsible partners. We've rolled out our second corporate social responsibility brochure, publicly filed, to talk about our commitment to our communities, to our peoples, to society, and to our environment. And it's an important part of Raymond James, and Canada's been ahead of us. We've had a little catch-up to do, but we've had a great partnership, and our commitment on all of those fronts is unwavering. Our diversity here, the video I hadn't seen till I walked up, is all the things that we're doing to make sure everyone feels included and that we reflect more of the populations that we serve. And they're different in different places. So the most underserved communities may be First Nations here, it may be the Black community in the US, it may be the Middle Eastern communities in the UK, but we all need to do our part to help the less advantaged members of our society get in, help train them, develop them, and give them the same chance that we've had, because we've been blessed with our opportunities, and it's the right thing to do to make sure everyone has equal access. Raymond James Limited has joined the 530 Challenge. Our board is 40% female, a third of people of color, and so we try to show from the top. But we have room to work on the executive committee and the operating committee, which is more diverse in our population. We need to make sure that we feed up and over time reach some pretty daunting goals because of society challenges, but we're committed. Some of you have heard of some of the issues that we've had in Florida. We had a bill that came out, and if you saw the draft, it said, "Don't Say Gay," was the title that was put out by a lot of people. And if you read it, it talked about how if your children were gay and they went to a teacher, how the teacher was supposed to tell their parents. And all these things that you couldn't talk about diverse lifestyles. Now, by the time the bill was passed, It was a parental rights bill that you couldn't teach sexuality to kindergartners to third grade. Well, I don't care if you're in the LGBTQ community or you're not. Most people would say we don't want to teach kids sexuality from K to third grade because they don't understand it and they don't care. And you could see there's 200 bills like that filed in different parts of the United States. Now, Disney opposed the bill publicly, and the governor removed their 50-year special taxing district that formed Disney World as retaliation. And so we thought about our strategy, and Raymond James just last week signed the Human Rights Campaign for the Equal Rights for a Global Bill, for a bill in the United States. Frankly, ironically, Disney and us sponsored the Equal Rights Bill in Florida, which passed 6 years ago. And then Disney, was singled out as an out-of-state corporation telling Floridians what to do. So hidden bias is all over the place, but we will stand for the rights of every human being in this company, no matter what. And I'm proud that we will now try to take this to the national level and get the same protections for that community that they have here in Canada. In every province, they have the legislation that guarantees their equal treatment. Also, to our communities, Raymond James Cares. Again, Canada has always exemplified this, from the $100,000 over raised for the BC fires in the communities. And the Ukrainian effort, $215,000, you outraised the U.S. for that community. And it goes on and on and on. So I really thank you. In the middle of COVID, we haven't slowed down. People in this organization globally are amazing. They've continued to help those that need help. And again, something that makes us special. So at the end of this, it's really one thing. It's about you. Our job to be successful is to help you, giving you the tools, the access, the needs, the support to help your clients. If you grow, we grow. And the part of the reason I love this job isn't the numbers, and it's certainly in the regulators. It's the people. We really admire what you do for your clients. It's not just investing. You're helping with their families. And the number of stories I get about family strife and how their advisor helped them. And help them through not only just to be able to retire, but what to do with their kids and all the special situations. It's really inspiring to me and really to all the leadership. It's what makes this really a great place. So with that, I want to assure you, as we move forward, everything will be around these values. It's what makes us special, and you are the ones that help us keep that and become successful. So thank you very much. It's great to be with you here this morning.